O'Malley versus Zahabi. Zahabi, again, I'm going to go back to the predator-prey thing here, but Zahabi looked like the prey the entire fight. He was running away constantly. He did not want the smoke. He barely threw any punches. He was very defensive. He was moving around sideways, running around. And we said this in our pre-fight. Like, that's just kind of how he fights. He's very defensive, very timid. And he does a Philly shell type thing a lot, like a shoulder roll, but he doesn't roll his shoulder really. He's still very square. So it's kind of a weird thing because a lot of times he's weirdly open to punches that go straight down the center. He does parry stuff a lot, but again, the way that he does the Philly shell is different from someone like Topuria. Like Topuria is rolling his shoulders a lot and ducking. He doesn't do that as much. He does it more like the Strickland way, where he's here and he's kind of just like bringing his arms up and, doing this kind of thing, right? It's more of an arm thing than it is like a shoulder thing when he does it. First round was certainly a warm-up round. Even Tim Welch said that after the round was over. He's like, Sugar, that was like a perfect warm-up round because Sean was just kind of trying to get his reads. And I respect it too, because at this point, I think O'Malley knows that he's not fighting cans anymore. Like, he can't go out there and just play around with his opponents like he used to early on in his career, where he could just kind of go out there and do his thing. Now he actually has to be like really tactical, and he is. Like, he's still a finisher. I mean, when you look at his record, most of his wins have come by finish. I think it's more, he has to be a little bit more tactical and patient about it. What did Zahabi do well? Well, he was a moving target constantly, right? So O'Malley's double jab is awesome. His cross to the body is awesome. I like when O'Malley does the double jab and then kind of the looping right hand that catches him around the guard. He landed that a lot. The one thing that Zahabi was doing that everybody noticed was most of his significant strikes were kicks, and there were a lot of inside leg kicks because he would do this thing where he would kind of run forward and then finish it. Like he would run forward as if he was going to like blitz him, and then he would finish it with a kick. So O'Malley is kind of on his heels at that point because he's trying to back up because what is he going to do? Like stand there? And when Zahabi sprints forward? No, he can't. He has to respect it a little bit, right? Dustin Poirier was actually really good at that too. He didn't do it as much later in his career, but when he first fought Max Holloway, wait, did they have a trilogy? No, it was the interim champion fight. It was the one from 2019. He does this thing where he'll throw a cross, or sorry, I guess it would be his left hand because he's a southpaw. So he throws a left hand all the way through, and he steps all the way into orthodox, and then he ducks down and throws like a kick with his right leg. So he's kind of like blitzing forward, and so you're kind of like, whoa, you're kind of backing up and bringing your hands up, and you oftentimes leave your legs open. And it was actually landing for Zahabi really well. Sean didn't look compromised at all, but it was landing well. And then the finishing sequence, it kind of reminded me a lot. It's so funny. A lot of the KOs on this card had a lot of similarities. The Dawkins loss, the Pereira loss, and this one, the Zahabi fight, a lot of them kind of had a similar problem where they're sort of having this flurry. Like O'Malley and Zahabi had this kind of like they sort of crashed in. O'Malley tried to land a big right hand. It kind of like, Zahabi sort of rolled away from it. It kind of hit him on the back of the shoulder. They kind of separate, like they sort of reset a little bit. And Zahabi was too close. Like he was too close when they separated, and he was too casual when they were at a dangerous range. Like O'Malley's he's a long fighter. Like he can hit you from further away than probably a lot of guys at bantamweight think he can because he's got long arms. He was a little bit too casual, and he stepped forward. Like as he was stepping in, O'Malley landed the left cross. He was sort of stepping in and in the middle of throwing a jab, but O'Malley just beat him to the punch because it was the timing of it was really awkward. When you watch it on the broadcast, if you rewatch it, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's like they crash, they reset, and usually when they would go back in, instead of kind of like getting a read on each other, O'Malley just kind of uncorked his left hand as Zahabi was stepping into the pocket. So he didn't have any time to react to it and back away. And then after that, he just kind of, again, just picture perfect right hand that hit him right on the chin that folded him over. Some people said it was an early stoppage. It was not an early stoppage. O'Malley did the sort of the walk-off KO thing. That was actually really cool. Obviously, it was planned. Like O'Malley kind of knew, if I get a knockout here, I'm going to do a walk-off and do the salute thing. And it was cool. Like it'll make for a cool photo. But if the ref didn't step in, it would have looked like his fight against that one Brazilian guy.
Almeida.
Lucas Almeida. Yes.
Thomas Almeida.
Oh, Thomas Almeida. Yes. Lucas, isn't he a flyweight? Yeah. Anyways, Thomas Almeida. it would have looked like that. Like he would have absolutely landed a bomb on him and he would have been so much more hurt, like actually unconscious. So I thought the stoppage was fine. This is exactly the win that O'Malley needed. Like if O'Malley wants to put his name in the hat to get a title shot, because again, Merab, he hasn't fought in 7 months, which is pretty long. It's a long break for Merab. Jan had to have some kind of surgery, I think. But right now at Bantamweight, Jan is the champ. Merab is the number 1 contender. Umar is ranked number 2, and then there's Sean. Okay, so Sean just got a win as the number 3rd ranked fighter. So whoever gets a title shot, it's going to be Sean, Umar, or Merab. Okay, and then we kind of like break that down. Merab could get the rematch, right? They could do a trilogy. But I feel like for how non-competitive the rematch was, I just don't know if I care to see it. Like, I just don't really care to see it. I think the result's going to be the same. Now, granted, Merab may have been a little compromised in that fight because it was his 4th fight, his 4th weight cut of the year. But Jan allegedly was pretty compromised when he fought Merab. So, yeah, maybe there are still some unanswered questions, but I feel like for them to do a trilogy, it's kind of different than like Moreno and Figueiredo. Like those were all pretty competitive fights for the most part. I feel like these ones, like I don't know, like I'm not really that interested in seeing it. I would almost rather see Umar rematch Merab. Umar could get a title shot because since Umar lost his fight to Merab, which was a title fight, he's won twice. Problem is, no one cares about Umar. Like literally, no one cares about him. He was on the prelims in his last fight, and he's the number 2. Or maybe it wasn't the prelims, but it was like he was at the very bottom of the main card on a pay per view or something like that, or of a fight night. No one cares about Umar. He's too boring. He doesn't fight to finish. And then we have O'Malley. O'Malley has a win over Jan that's unanswered, right? And Jan's legacy at this point is pretty legendary. It's kind of, it reminds me of like Gaethje and Oliveira, right? Yeah, there's a lot of lightweights who could get a title fight, but Oliveira has a win over Gaethje. And like for Gaethje's resume and his legacy, getting a win back over and avenging that loss to Oliveira would be awesome. I think Jan is the same way. And their fight was super entertaining and super competitive. And O'Malley's coming off of 2 wins since his last title fight, right? So O'Malley and Umar are in a similar boat, but I think O'Malley's wins are a little more spectacular. Now, one thing that's going in Umar's favor is that he's a new matchup for Jan. We've never seen him fight Jan before, so that could be interesting, and styles make fights, so you never know how that fight could shake out. But personally, I would love to see O'Malley rematch Jan. I would love to. I think the pay-per-view would be bigger. More people would be interested. They wouldn't have to make it a co-main. Like they could make it the main event if they wanted to. Like make that fight happen in like September or something. And then have Merab rematch Umar in the meantime. Or Merab, if he wants to, can wait for a title fight because he did have a pretty legendary run at Bantamweight and I think he deserves it if he waits for it. But anyways, that's my thoughts on O'Malley versus who did he fight? I already forgot.
I'm in Zahabi.
That's right.
This guy. No, that leg kick was doing work. Honestly, I think the deal breaker in this fight was the fact that Zahabi's distance management was kind of buns. Like he thought he was in safe space, but in reality he wasn't because he just underestimated O'Malley's reach. And so he kind of let his guard down in a space where O'Malley could snipe him, and he did. And like when a shot lands that you didn't expect it to land, the damage is like multiplied. If you're bracing for a shot, like, yeah, it hits you, but it's not that big of a deal. But if you don't see it, the shot that you don't see coming, that's the one that knocks you out. And so that's kind of what happened to Zahabi. I thought he would be able to survive the knockdown and O'Malley would get a decision in this fight. But dude, O'Malley, I never thought O'Malley was like a power puncher, but something about him, sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't, you know? This was definitely a fight where his power really showed through. Kind of a similar, like the finishing sequence I thought was kind of similar to the way Alex Pereira knocked out Sean Strickland when obviously it wasn't a left hook for this one, but the way that he knocked Zahabi down and Zahabi got back up, and as his hands are coming back up to his face, he got sniped again. And then he went down the second time. It was just perfect. Stoppage was good. When somebody gets knocked down twice in the span of 5 seconds, dude,
it's over.
I'm calling it. And like, it's not like they got turtle, like their back hits the mat for a second time. And like, dude, Suga, he stopped to salute like pretty quickly, but he would have been on top of Zahabi within like 2 seconds. And he would have been like throwing a right hand in the way that Dan Henderson hit Michael Bisping. He like
my
jumped
gosh.
up and like lunged down. That's what Sugar would have done. And it's just like, dude, why bother? This guy got knocked down twice. Just call it. It was already a step up to fight Sugar anyways. He didn't lose a ton in this fight. Just save the damage. He's got a family. I am so praying that he leapfrogs Marab for a title shot. Marab deserves a title shot. He deserves an immediate rematch. But let's be honest, his last fight, he just got mauled. Absolutely mauled. And I know it's 1-1, but Sugar has a win over Peter. It was a back and forth, just absolute masterpiece.
Yeah.
It was a war, and you know too at your core, Peter Yan, he wants to get this one back. I know Peter Yan, he thinks he's better than Sugar, and I just know he's like, I can't believe I lost to like this clown. And I know he wants this win back. The storyline would be great. I would rather see this. I am worried about the leg kicks. There's kind of a good tell in this fight. I could see Peter Yan making leg kicks a big part of his game plan, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But great win for O'Malley. The salute was absolute aura. Good highlight reel.
Such a cool celebration.
Dude, yeah. I don't think he got a bonus, but I hope he gets some sort of compensation for that performance.